break it down. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Mornings. Well, okay. I'm not real sure, but well, it's about 8:50 here, and so good morning to everybody. How are you doing? What's going on? It is a wonderful, wonderful Saturday morning. And man, it's almost really nice out today. Today we're going to be going over, you always hear about these different cryptids, it's always different on region and where you are. And, the Yeti is going to be Bigfoot. Bigfoot is going to be the Yeti, depending on where you might be. But, you get the white appearance, they're always going to be different. You know what I mean? And so, holy moly, Queen Bella forever. How have you been doing? Man, I love running into the Podbean world. And everybody give it up because, man, Queen Bella forever. If you haven't checked out her podcast, it's super awesome. I woke up one morning and I was hanging out and I was listening to her podcast, and it was like, I don't know, it was just coincidence maybe, but it was a awesome uh, awesome morning. Listen to her music. I always appreciate that. Yeah, you can definitely call in, for sure. Let me. There you go. How you doing, man? Did that? Can you hear me?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Well, I want to. You know what Cartoon Network is?
No, I don't.
Okay. Let me say to you, there is a TV show that was on PBS years and years ago. Two TV shows that was popular. You know who David Mitton is?
I've heard the name.
George Carlin, Ringo Starr, David Mitton, Britt
Oh
Allcroft.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
So I watched Thomas on Cartoon Network, and I watched it, and no, it's not the Thomas, because I like the Thomas from the 90s or 2004. You know, when David Mitton directed and so was Colin Ringo Starr play Mr. Conductor, and they narrate the voices of it.
Yeah. Okay.
But they took it off PBS, and
Huh.
they're not going to do a reboot, but they did, and it's not like the
No,
90s.
it's not like it was. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how that usually goes. That sucks. Uh, well, right on. Yeah, no, I've never heard of that.
Like
Wow.
George Carlin passed away from heart failure, but
Oh,
and Peter Fonda in Thomas and Master Railroad played Bernard Stone. He passed away, I think from lung cancer.
oh no. Oh man, that
And
sucks.
David Mitton passed away from that too. But they are good with the Thomas thing. But the 90s and 80s on PBS they have Sign Time Station. Then after that they have Thomas and Friends. Barney and nah.
Yeah. Huh. I love PBS. I have been on. I surf through different channels, and I always go back to PBS. I do love the channels on there. How you
You
doing
know,
today?
it's good. I'm doing good. I was watching the movie of Thomas and the Master Railroad, the trailer, and it's
Yeah.
about Diesel 10 comes and threatens the island of Sodor, and all the magic gold dust is gone. And the way to get it back is with Ray and with crews and stuff. And, that was a good movie. But when Britt Alcock went to movie theaters, it didn't make money at the box office. So they were saying we want action movies. That is not an action movie, and it got 2 stars.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Happy. it really depends on, if you don't have your subject in the right place, yeah, I could see it. That does happen. Even a podcast, if you don't put these in the right place, yeah, I totally
Like on
see. Yeah.
November 27, Rick Zumeyer, the guy who created Science Time Station and Thomas and Friends, he's
Uh,
going to be at that train show, and I'm going to the train show in November to see my favorite train ensign from that TV show, Thomas.
oh yeah, yeah. My son used to love that Thomas train. I remember that.
You know,
I totally.
remember when the kids in the show goes around and say to Mr. Conductor, say, "You want to hear a Thomas story?" and blow the whistle, Thomas appears.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I do remember that show. I did. Is it still on? Is it still
No,
a
no. But
okay.
I have DVDs of it on eBay, but it's hard for me to get DVDs of that. So you know what I'm going to do?
What's that?
I asked Patrick. I'm going to set up a VHS player, connect it to my PlayStation, so I can record all the episodes of Sign Time that was on Nick Jr. and PBS on
Ah, there you
YouTube.
go.
You know the YouTube video? I will put it on a VHS tape onto a DVD, so I can have like a full marathon of it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Well, there you
Yeah.
go. I didn't know if that. Yeah, I've never really. My son, of course, now he's 23, but he used to love Thomas the Railroad Dude. But yeah, it's been a while now since I didn't even know if it was still a show that was still on. Well, that's cool. Well,
You know,
awesome.
George Carlin back away from Blair Urquhart asked him to do Sign Time Station, and he backed away from it because he does comedy and stand up, and I watch his stand up comedy, and his
George
stand up
Carlin.
comedy gets a little lazy at times.
George Carlin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like what he says in the
love him.
comedy. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
but
He was awesome.
he was nervous of doing the show, but he did 100 of episodes of the Sign Time Station.
Oh right on. Oh right on. I love Carlin. I still go back and watch. Didn't he? Didn't he? Did he passed away?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Now it's been I don't know how long ago, but well, right on. Well, awesome. You have any? You have any fun stories about any mysterious type of situation? Has anything happened to you about with alien abductions or seen Bigfoot or anything like that?
No, but um, the thing is that I have supported for my friends and all of that.
Yeah. Well,
But
very
you know,
awesome.
I remember being at home, having a peanut butter and jelly, putting on Nick Jr. and watching Sign Time that came on at 10:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But it was only on for 1 year because when Thomas and the Massive Railroad came out, they canceled it.
Oh. Oh, okay. I wonder how many people Thomas put under.
And the kids were saying, "Can I go to the movie Thomas and the Magic Railroad?" The kids were saying that to the parents, and the parents said, I had to sit through this."
Huh. Well, it's awesome that that Thomas Railroad still has a following like he does because man, I remember that in the little blue train and would yeah, I had his little
I
friends.
called PBS up and the one day, and I said, "Can you bring Time Jason and Thomas and friend back?" And they
Yeah.
said, "No, we cannot do that because we need to ask Britt Alcock that created the show, two of those shows, and she needs to bring it back. We can't do that without asking Britt Alcock."
Huh. So you need more
You
people
know,
to call in.
you know who Britt Alcock is, do you?
No, I do not. Bit
She's the
off.
one who she's the one who created Thomas in the home videos.
Oh. Oh, no, I do not know, but I'll definitely check it out. Well, I appreciate you calling in.
Mm.
Um, Thank you so much. Oh, what's up, bucket list? But yeah, definitely. If you have any more stories or want to talk about anything else, definitely call in. I appreciate it. You can hang out if you want. Um, I've got about an
You
hour, so
know,
I've got to get into my stories. But do I know what?
the show Johnny Time and Thomas's Friends and the movie Thomas and the Magic Railroad was aimed for a younger audience, like kids, like preschool and kindergarten, and I don't
Uh,
fit that category.
oh, you don't? What
Yeah.
category do you fit?
Well, I like watching it, but it's aimed for a younger audience.
Yeah, yeah. Well, right on.
Yeah, but I do not like the Thomas. Um, I called Cartoon Network one day and I said to them, I do not like the Thomas. Sunny Time was on PBS and ABC Kids, and what's the point you took that off? That was so popular. That Thomas was that's that's no good Thomas because George
Bucket
Carlin they
list,
were
what's up?
missing. Yeah, they did that.
Would you want to hear something different?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, I'm in
Wait.
Thailand at the moment.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, man, yeah.
Oh,
And
awesome.
come from the UK and been coming here for years. And now they've legalized weed. And so it's turning into,
Oh, right on.
it was
Yeah.
a paradise anyway, but
Uh,
now it's a lot sunnier.
oh, right on. Hell yeah. What's it?
Yeah, how
Hey,
good,
bucket
yeah.
list. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing okay.
I
The
am
reason I
good.
call bucket list is that basically, I don't know how long I got to live, and so when I was in Thailand this time, and I've been in Thailand about 6 times before, but
Yeah.
this time I decided that I was actually going to do that bucket list because there's a very good chance I won't live another 10 years. So my mum died a little while ago, left me some money, so
Yeah.
I'm going to use that to do the top 10 things I want to do in the world.
That's awesome. What are the top? What do you want to? What are the top 10 things you want to do?
Well, I've been lucky. I've flown nearly all around the world, first class, and that was only because I went out with a stewardess.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
fuck the stewardess, I should say.
Right.
But it's like there's a surfing machine. I'm 62 years old, and those surfing machines are fucking maniac. And I thought I'm gonna have a go.
Is
And
that
2 or
thing
3
that you
years,
can get on a board? I think I know what you. I
yeah,
want to fucking get on one
yeah,
of those so bad. Fuck yeah, I do. I
yeah,
want, dude. Those things
yeah.
look badass.
So for years I've been wanting to do it, and then
Right
that
on.
was the first thing on my tick list, and I did it
Yeah.
today, and it's on my Facebook, and awesome.
You did do it today. Is it awesome, man? Those things look so.
It is
Those things
until
look
you fall on your
badass.
fucking head. Apart from that, it's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to check that one of those. I want to do that so bad.
Oh, do it, do it,
I
do it.
love surfing. Of course, I'm in the middle of America where there's no oceans around. But man, that's pretty awesome. So, what are the other 9 things on your bucket list?
Well, I'm sort of going along with this really. They've got water rafting here, which I
Oh,
love
right
to
on.
do.
Yeah.
And there's also the world's longest zip line in Phuket
Hell yeah.
that goes
That'd be
right the way
fun.
through a rainforest.
That'd be
So I'm going
badass.
to do that as well.
Man, one of my bucket list things, I want to go to Thailand. Like, so bad.
Man, I tell you, come out, meet me. You have an amazing time.
Man, I would love to. God damn, it'd be fun to go to Thailand. Uh,
Yeah, I tell you what, I've been coming here for years, and there's some really shit places. But
yeah.
to get to know the real people,
Right,
to
right,
do the
right.
real stuff, it's really
Yeah.
good.
That's cool. That would be awesome to go to Thailand and just
Bag,
Okay.
and get to
Well,
know their
drop
culture.
me a line sometime, Bag.
Yeah, we'll do,
bag.
man, for sure.
What
And
is
yeah,
what is
happy,
what is a
happy.
bucket list?
Bye for now.
Yeah, have a good one, brother. Thanks for calling in, man.
No problem. Thanks
What
for
Have
the
a good
chat.
one. Yeah. Good luck with the other 9 things that you're doing. A bucket list is where you have a list of things that you want to do before you die, and that's what a bucket list is. That's awesome that you're that sounds like a good start. I would die to do one of those, get on one of those fucking surfer machine things. Those things look fucking badass. They look really cool. Um, yeah, I would kill to do that. I don't know. I've got a bucket list, I think, of shit to do, but I probably fail even trying to get to them. Would kill to, but yeah, I don't think I'd make it. But thank you for calling in, man. I love it when people call in. Um, so I was like going over these dumb, like fucking these different, I don't know what you call cryptid, whatever these monsters or the people say that they run into, which I've yet to really myself run into any Sasquatches hitting trees and stuff like that. I mean, I've ran into different experiences, like when I'm camping, but nothing like. Never got invited to a cave and hang out with a family of Bigfoots or anything like that. But uh, I ran into this list of like creepiest urban legends. You know, because every state or whatever, a region will have a different um, cryptid or whatever they call them. In Alabama, and if anybody's Hell's Gate Bridge, has anybody ever heard of Hell's Gate Bridge? Generally accepted story of Hell's Gate Bridge starts in the 1950s, according to the Oxford Paranormal Society. A young couple driving over the bridge somehow drove their car off the bridge one night, and they both drowned. Huh. Uh, there are two legends associated with Hell's Gate Bridge. One, that if you drive your car out to the middle of the bridge and turn off the lights, the couple will magically appear in your car and leave a wet spot on the seat. I wonder what kind of wet spot that is. Dude, that wasn't funny. Yeah, it's that bad. It is. The other, which is how the bridge got its name, is the belief that if you drive over the bridge and look over your shoulder halfway through, the scenery behind you turns into a portal to hell engulfs in flames. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, man. I'm just saying. Well, it'd be fun. Potentially to curb ghost hunters and bored teenagers, Hell's Gate Bridge is closed to cars, according to the Aniston Star. And it is in such despair that walking across is strongly discouraged. So, if you're in Alabama, go check out Hell's Gate Bridge. Apparently, they don't want you on that. Maybe you'll get to the portal of hell, and that's what I'm talking about. Yep. Well, in Alaska, there's a Kushtaka of the Alaskan Triangle. Anybody from Alaska heard of a Kushtaka of the Alaskan Triangle? That's something I'm not too familiar with, but everyone knows the story of the Bermuda Triangle, but you might not know about the Alaskan Triangle. I've heard, you know what? Actually, I guess I have heard not a whatever thing about it, but on average, 5 out of 1,000 people go missing in Alaska. The Los Angeles Times reported in 2005. So even if there's nothing supernatural going on, it's easy to get lost in the Alaskan wilderness. That for sure. Thanks, Lincoln. Yeah, it's gonna lay there. The Tingit tribe, who live in Juneau, have their own explanation for the higher number of missing people. Evil spirits called the Kushtaka. Hmm. According to books such as In Search of the Kushtaka, Alaska's other Bigfoot. See, that's the Kushtaka are shapeshifters, half man, half otter. There you go. Hey man, that's what I'm talking about. Who lure women and children to the water with fake cries in order to steal their human spirits and drown them. Well, I have not. That's something I'm new to. I say I know about much of that one. Well. But, moving on to Arizona, the ghosts of Slaughterhouse Canyon. Uh, I've been to Arizona. I've gone through Arizona. Um, Not ever heard of the ghost Slaughterhouse Canyon. That's a new one for me. The story of Slaughterhouse Canyon, also called the less frightening Luna's Canyon, takes place during the gold rush. According, can't talk for shit ever. According to the miner, you'll have to get into that one here in a few. I don't know what the miner is, but during the 1800s, there was a family who lived in the canyon. They were very poor, so the father would venture out for food for his family. As you might have guessed, one day the father did not return, so his family slowly starved and descended into madness. The mother, unable to bear listening to her children's cries anymore, put on her wedding dress, murdered her children, and then threw them into a nearby river. The next day, she succumbed to starvation herself. Did she really have to put on a wedding dress to do that? The legend states that if you go down to Slaughterhouse Canyon at night, even now, you will hear the loud, anguished cries of the mother who lost her mind. Was that before or after she put the wedding dress on? I'm just saying. Well, is that supposed to be depicted as, going, I don't know.
Evil will always triumph because good is dumb.
I know. Hey, it's not because I wanted to, it's because I had to.
Now you see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb.
Hey, like I said, it's not because I wanted to. They made me do it. I had to. So if you're around Arizona, apparently they like to put on wedding dresses and, do lose their minds. I don't think that's an Arizona thing particularly, but moving over a couple states, in Arkansas, which I'm close to Arkansas. I'm a state over from there. I'm in Oklahoma. And I got a cabin in Arkansas I go to, but I've heard of this one. This one called the Boggy Creek Monster. Anybody familiar with that one? I don't. Me either. Oh, go home and wash out your beef. Just kidding. That was was that? Oh, and I don't remember which um song that was. Anyway, Arkansas's got the Boggy Creek Monster, one I'm not familiar with, but I've heard of. According to the Atlas Obscura, the Boggy Creek Monster of folk is Arkansas version of Sasquatch. Now, I know that the Arkansas people have a Sasquatch, but he's commonly accepted to be around 7 or 8 feet tall and covered in hair. Legend says that he roams the creeks of rural Arkansas. I wonder if he ever gets with the Sasquatch family. He was first spotted in 1834 when people reported seeing a wild man. These days, after people claim to spot the Boggy Creek Monster, the sightings are documented on the official Boggy Creek Monster website. That's something we need to check out. He has been the subject of 5 feature-length films, including the 1972's The Legend of Boggy Creek. Well, I mean, it cleared, we know what that, yeah, I'm so good at nothing that, yeah, it's bad, I know, it's horrible. Yeah, I've, the Boggy Creek Monster and Sasquatch and Bigfoot, they gotta all be the same. Lou Rock, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for joining. I've got a list of different states of different, what do they call them? Cryptids, monsters. Cryptids are basically, I guess, it's a new name for me, I guess. Cryptids are they don't have scientific proof of these creatures of different species. California's got a Charman. Now, this one I'm a little not too familiar with either. I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of a Charman. The Charman's origin story, told in the journal Western Folklore, is gruesome. Oh. A father and son were both caught in a house fire and horribly burnt in 1948. I hate when that happens. After the fire, the son became so mentally unstable that he killed his father. When the police found the son, he was so unrecognizably burnt, they didn't realize he was alive. Oh, so he ran away before they were able to arrest him for the murder of his father. Oh, shitballs. I hate that happens as well. The story goes that ever since then, the Charman, incredible name, can be spotted wandering the woods surrounding Ouija, occasionally approaching tents of innocent campers or pretending to be a hitchhiker and then attempting to attack them. Don't go camping around there. I don't know. Charman just doesn't sound like it's something I want to run into. Not like I want to run into what is that? Um, Jersey Devil. I mean, it's not like they. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just read about them on. Yeah, I would like to. I'm gonna wait for a second. Moving a couple states over from that, Colorado. Now, I think Colorado's probably got more than, well, aren't they an alien based? Like, I mean, it's like a lot of UFO sightings in Colorado. Actually, if anybody's listening and they're from Colorado, call. I want to ask you about something. I love the hell out of Colorado. Um, Actually, it wouldn't be a bad state to live in. The many legends of Riverdale Road in Colorado. I'm familiar with this one. Riverdale Road is the site of not one, but 8 creepy stories, ranging from a hell gate to ghosts of slaves hanging from the trees, Jesus, to stretch of road is decidedly spooky, as reported by local news affiliates. Fox 31. The creepiest story, though, is that of Phantom Jogger. One day there was a driver who hit a jogger and left him for dead. Now it's said that if you park at the site of the crash, you'll hear disembodied footsteps getting closer and closer to your car. People have reported handprints on their windows and banging noises as if someone is kicking the outside of your car. Well, that's like there's another place that's similar to, what is it? You put baby powder. I thought it was that bridge. Put like baby powder on there or whatever, and it's handprints. It's like a you go to if you look on YouTube or whatever. there's a group. There's people that just are dousing their car in baby powder. Hey, right on. It brings stuff for me to talk about. But I don't know. Doesn't baby powder get real weird when it's water? I don't. It's not important. So anybody from Colorado, if you've heard of those, let me know. Kind of fun to talk about. Then moving over to Connecticut. I think we played a show in Connecticut. I didn't really. I think we packed up and went to the next town pretty quick. But if I remember correctly, the great had a great music scene. In Connecticut, Hannah Cranna. I'm not familiar with Hannah Cranna. Known as the Wicked Witch of Monroe. Okay, according to CT Insider, Hannah Cranna gained a reputation as a witch in the 19th century when her husband died by mysteriously falling off a cliff. Man, I hate that kind of thing. That's oh man. And locals reportedly believed that she had been bewitched or bewitched him. People also believed that she would cast spells on people she didn't like. Yeah, that really fuck up your day, I'm just saying. Hannah lived to the age of 77, but right before she died, she asked to be carried down to the cemetery in her coffin by foot, not wagon. Very, very distinct on those. After her death, the people of Monroe tried to wheel her coffin down the hill, but were unable, and the coffin kept falling off, so they were forced to carry it. When the townspeople returned to her home, it was found to be engulfed in flames, sealing Hannah's reputation of witchcraft. Yet, now you can visit her real grave in Trumbull. Well, I guess that's what we're going to have to go check out. Hey, it's the devil. Man, I mean, God, let's be a little respectful to people. Hey, that's not nice either, Lincoln. Thank you, Bubby. Oh, man. I know, that is pretty much accurate, isn't it? Definitely hear the crickets. I have a blast. So in Delaware, you hear a lot of things about Delaware, but again, I'm not familiar with it. But Lincoln, you ready to go to Delaware? In Delaware, they have a ghost of Mr. Chew. Hey, man. While not particular mean-spirited ghost, Samuel Chew's story, as told in Haunted Delaware, is still disconcerting. But all the same. Chew was a Chief Justice of the Delaware Supreme Court in 1741. As the story goes, while he was alive, he didn't always get the respect he deserved. People frequently made fun of his name by mimicking sneezes while he walked by. After his death, people reported seeing his ghost sitting under a popular tree, wandering the courthouse and generally creeping out the residents of Dover. Chew would also pull on men's coattails and give women a cold, icy feeling. Well, Mr. Chew, you definitely give me that by just the name, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure my name's not great either, man. I'm just saying. Again, Bacon. Man, how could you do that? Moving over, flying a leap over to Florida, the gravity-defying Spook Hill. This one I've heard of too, and I think this might have something to do with gravity. Now, I've not. The phenomenon that happens at Spook Hill is real. Cars that are parked in neutral will appear to roll uphill, according to Atlas Obscura. I've heard of this. Legends say the hill is either the site of a Native American burial ground or an epic battle of Native American chief against a crocodile. The hell of a But the truth is, it's actually just an illusion created by hill surroundings. While cars appear to be rolling uphill, they are still just rolling downhill, like the Nile River going down. Well, moving up one state to Georgia, the ghost town of Lake Lanier. All right. This one I'm not familiar with either. Oh, and by the way, everybody, if you're around these places, definitely I want to hear from everybody about these. Um, at the bottom of Lake Lanier lies almost fully intact towns, ferries, a racetrack, and multiple cemeteries. The Georgia government, in its determination to create Lake Lanier, bought up entire towns in order to clear the space for the lake after they received congressional approval in 1946. I have heard of this. However, they just decided to let the water cover up the towns rather than demolishing them. That is pretty weird. Now Lake Lanier has a decidedly eerie feeling about it. There have been an unusual number of freak accidents and deaths on the lake from 1994 to 2020. There have also been a total of 203 drownings, according to CNN. Balls. Many of the bodies of people who drown have never been recovered. People have reported feeling arms and legs in the water, reported CNN, but have not been able to find them right after, leading people to believe that spirits still roam the lake. Well, sheets upon beds, man, that doesn't sound according. I don't know, man. I've heard of that one before, and it totally it freaks me out. I am at the bottom of the hour, a little bit past. I've got to take a break, but I won't leave you just bored of sitting here listening to eerie, scary tones that I have. Um, this one is fun of campfire stories that I'm gonna leave just for a minute. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Now it's over. Woo! What's up, everybody? That was just a short break. But I never want to leave you just. I mean, I know you're bored enough just with this. How's everybody doing? I want to thank everybody for calling in. That's called in. Shit. I don't know where any of my anything went, but. What's up, man? How's everybody doing? So we always hear about cryptids, and here's this is actually a subject that I kind of man, what is it? And this nice self-included, of course, I'm my big thing. I love astronomy, and man, it's an incredible uh um subject, but. I mean, but then there's that, fine line of getting over into the, you know, the alien thing, and which I'm not saying I don't, I'm not saying I'm a total believer in, but sometimes I think that we need to be looking down instead of up. But I mean, even at light speed, going from one one planet star system to another. Man, the time, just even at light speed is just, I don't know, and who knows. I'm not real sure that I just don't know. But anyway, um, cryptids always come into another, Bigfoot or other things. And what is it in people that want to believe in something bigger or something more? Of course, I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. I totally, you know, it's a rabbit hole you go down, and next thing you know, you're just, you know, and I love talking to people about it. If you have any stories about anything, I always love when people call in. Um, and if you want to email me, you can email me at jshaddy1977 at gmail.com. And I'll read your stories from an email. I have people that will email me, and I love telling their stories like that. But if you do want to call in and you want to tell it, I'm always all ears. I'm sure everybody will get a break from my annoying voice. Um, I do need to get my astronomy podcast up and available again, though. That is one thing I want to do. So I was reading about different things, different monsters from each, um, you know, uh, state. And man, I got to Georgia, and that ghost town of Lake Linnea was. I've heard of that one now, and it's pretty creepy. It's pretty cool. Um, Now, if you go way across the water, and I'm not real familiar with Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii. God, it's amazing. Go to one side of an island, and you drive to the other. It's like one side is all volcanic rock, and then all of a sudden, halfway across, you're in a rainforest. Amazing. But I'm not real familiar with Hawaii. But Hawaii's has something called night marchers. Something I'm not familiar with. Night marchers, according to Honolulu Magazine, are not evil spirits, but they do demand respect. They're spirits of ancient Hawaiian warriors who march around the island to protect sacred areas. Huh. Legend says that if you look directly at a night marcher, you will be marked for death. And if by some chance you find yourself in the middle of a procession, you are supposed to lie down in the middle of the road. I don't know what would happen after that, but if anyone's heard of those, actually, I have a friend in Hawaii, and actually, I don't know if you listen to this one, but you call into my other podcast. If you, by chance, are call in, man, I'd love to hear from you. Coming back to um, this big Americas of hell, Idaho. I, I, Idaho is a beautiful state. Uh, this one not familiar with the water babies of Massacre Rocks. Huh. Water babies are a Native American legend that are found in a couple of different places in America, but most famously in Pocatello at the Massacre Rock State Park. Heard of it? The Shoshone tribe was first recorded in 1805, according to the Encyclopedia of the Great Plains, and were roaming the Great Plains as early as the 1500s, so it's not clear when exactly this legend originated. But the story goes that the Shoshone experienced an extreme famine, and mothers were forced to drown their babies in the river rather than watch their children starve, as told by a weird US. Today, some people claim that if you sit quietly at the river by Massacre Rock, you'll hear the sound of babies crying. Man, that's not it. Other stories say that these babies grew gills and fins and survived. Whoa. And now they seek revenge on their mothers by luring unsuspecting victims to their deaths. A river. Well, I'm just saying it's sad. You know, that's all I'm saying. Jumping over a couple states to Illinois. Homie the Clown. Hey, man. I'm not familiar with Homie the Clown, but I love the name. That's what I'm talking about. Well, man, I don't know. Homie the Clown. Throughout the the suburbs of Chicago in the 90s, there was a rumor going around elementary schools. There was a creepy man dressed as Homie the Clown, yes, from In Living Color, driving around in a white van trying to lure kids into the van with candy and money, according to Chicago Reader and the Chicago Tribune. Lure people with money? Like, isn't that called prostitution? Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, I'm just kidding. In some variations, he was a kidnapper. In others, he was a rapist. But in all variations, Homie left a mark on young Chicago kids in the 90s. That's not shit is not okay. Stand up, kidnapping. There's stand up rape thing, man. Just not okay, man. Don't. It's a horrible thing to not be. It should not exist. Going to Indiana, 100 Step Cemetery. Okay, the 100 Step Cemetery is located in the town of Brazil, according to Brazil Times. Okay, not the country. I'm assuming. While it's not clear when the stories about the cemetery being haunted began, there are gravestones that date back to the 1860s. The legend states that if someone finds themselves in the cemetery at midnight, they must climb the steps and count to 100. At this point, a ghost of an undertaker will appear and show the person a vision of their death. Who the fuck wants to see that? On the way back down, the visitor is supposed to count the steps again. If they count the same amount of steps, the vision was false. People who visited the cemetery in the past have tried to outsmart the supernatural forces 100 steps by avoiding the steps altogether. They've reported being knocked or shoved to the ground by an unforeseen force, according to Indiana ghost detectives. Huh. Well, uh, I'm not familiar with that one. All right. So moving over to Iowa. And I have been to Iowa. I don't know if I've hung out in per se, but in Iowa, and I said that really well. Yeah. In Iowa, we have the Black Angel. Okay. Well, the Black Angel stands over Hey, what's up, everybody? Sorry, that break was a little longer than I wanted it to be, but is everybody still there? Did I lose everybody? So we're going over states that have mysterious, or their own little monsters, as you might call them. I don't know. What was the Grunch? May have been. Nope. We went through Maine and Maryland. I think. Yes. The Chesapeake Bay Monster. Chessie sightings have been around since the 1930s, but really started to pick up steam in the 80s when photographic evidence became more readily available, WBA to TV reported. Chessie is said to resemble a snake. Yes, we did. Massachusetts. I'm not. That's the one. Spirits of Hoosac Tunnel. Went over that. Michigan. Moving over to Michigan. The little girl on Knock Knock Road. Not familiar with this one either, but the legend of Knock Knock Road, as reported by 99.1 WMFK, says that there was a little girl who was murdered on Knock Knock Road in the Detroit area, and now I said that weirdly funny. And yeah, fine. In the Detroit area, and now she appears to drive to drivers at their car window, knocking, trying to find the person who killed her. Well, here in Michigan, uh, watch out on Knock Knock Road. Might knock knock on your window. You never know. No. Now moving over to Minnesota. Just lay down for a minute. Minnesota. No, not there. Not there. I appreciate it, Lincoln. Yeah, you have your own mic over there. Yeah, you don't. Not today, huh? All right. Minnesota. The Kensington Runestone. Okay. I'm not really familiar with any. But in 1898, a Swedish American farmer found a gigantic slab of rocks on his farm that had symbols that appeared to be Norse. And since then, no one has figured out where it came from. While most historians have debunked the rock, now known as the Kensington Rune, according to Atlas Obscura, as a hoax due to dating and inconsistencies with the Norse language of the time, the myth has persisted. But if it wasn't the Vikings, who did leave the mysterious rock? And what does it say? Who knows? Well, if you're around Minnesota, go check out the Kensington Runestone. Maybe you can read it. I don't know. I cannot. I don't know. Moving down, to Mississippi. Deer Island's Haunted Treasure. Wow, man. That's one you want to go to. I'm just saying. Hey, I'm on it. The ghost of Deer Island, reported the Sun Herald, originates from an old pirate story. The story says that back in the 1920s, two men were fishing on Deer Island, and when they heard rustling in the brushes, a noise they assumed was caused by wild hogs. Eventually, they decided to check it out and encountered a headless skeleton. They ran back to their boat. The skeleton followed them all the way there. Shit. I do hate when that happens. According to the pirate story, there was a ship that sailed into Biloxi Bay and buried their treasure on Deer Island. The crew decided on to behead one of their own and left his body behind to guard their treasure. There you have it. Go to Mississippi, check out Deer Island's haunted treasure because it will haunt you. Now on over to Missouri and F1. Missouri. Momo the Missouri Monster. Momo. I'm not gonna. I'll just leave that one. Momo the Missouri Monster. I was not familiar. Okay, Momo is Missouri's version of Bigfoot. Okay, the Sasquatch. Fair enough. He's been said to have a terrible body odor, a pumpkin-shaped head, and an appetite for dogs. Oh my God, Lincoln! Did you hear that shit? A hunger for dogs? Aw.
No way, man. You don't eat me. Shit. Fuck that shit. I would kill a motherfucker if they tried to eat me. I do not like any dog-eating motherfuckers. I will kill them. It's not even funny. I will kill you. I will knock you out. I'm done. I've had it.
Lincoln, it's okay, dude. It's okay. I mean, Jesus God. Momo the Missouri Monster. Well, you're gonna have to fight Lincoln. But in 1968, Momo tried to abduct a 4-year-old boy. Though no evidence was ever found, a local radio station reported. Well, if you're ever in Missouri, don't take your dog. Montana, the story of Sacrifice Cliff. Wow. Okay, as reported by the Billings Gazette, the story of Sacrifice Cliff comes from an old Native American legend. Two members of the Crow tribe arrived at their village from a trip to find that almost everyone there had been infected with smallpox and died. So heartbroken about the loss of their loved ones, the two decided to blindfold their horses and ride off the cliff to join the tribe on the other side. Well, here you go. Sacrifice Cliff is visible from almost anywhere in Billings, and so it's sad and a bit spooky to think about this story while the cliff is looming over the entire city. Well, I guess if you go to Montana, don't go to Sacrifice Cliff because you might sacrifice. I don't know. Anyway, moving over to Nebraska, the Poison Girl at Centennial Hall. That's I've not heard of this one. When Insider chose the most haunted place in each state, Centennial Hall was a no-brainer. People claim that there were multiple ghosts roaming the hills. But the creepiest story of Centennial Hall originates in the 1940s, when it used to be a high school. The story says that a student was playing her clarinet, suffered a heart attack, and died because her reed was poisoned. Ooh. Now people claim to feel cold spots, hear disembodied music, and to have witnessed an empty rocking chair start to rock, according to the blog Teresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State. Jesus God balls, I'm not going there, man. I'm just, because there's a lot of, I don't know. Just, I don't think I'm going to, that's not a place I'm going. Now, demanding sounding, I know. Nevada. The truth about Area 51. Oh, goddamn, here it comes. Hey, yeah. Nevada. There is perhaps no urban legend, myth, or conspiracy theory more famous than Nevada's Area 51, a mysterious government facility that is rumored to be associated with aliens. Yep, that's right. Aliens. Who hasn't heard that story? The U.S. government officially states that the Area 51 is classified due to national security, which only fuels the fire. Secrecy around Area 51 is what makes it inherently creepy. And with this government admitting to a program investigating UFOs, the theories about what's actually going on inside continues to seem more plausible. Well, that's true. And actually, the more and more you dig into that, the deeper and deeper you're gonna go. I know. Yep. Oh man, moving up. New Hampshire, the Witch of Hampton, Goody Cole. Wow, I wonder what Goody Cole. And News Goody Cole was the only woman in New Hampshire history to be tried for witchcraft multiple times. The first charge was in 1656, and she was charged again in 1671. Jesus. Now you can try somebody once they were already, I don't know. According to Hampton Historical Society, when she died and her body was recovered, the townspeople were rumored to have staked her through the heart to prevent her from haunting their town, according to Atlas Obscura. People continue to blame Goody Cole for the misfortunes of Hampton citizens for the past 300 years. For example, a boat full of Hampton residents overturned and everyone on board drowned. Even though they were in swimming distance of shore, they still all died. People blame Goody Cole for the crash and for cursing the passengers by having them forget how to swim. That is not okay. And I don't think we need to be cheering about it or being happy about that. That is horrible. That is horrible. Yeah. Well, moving up to New Jersey. Yep, you've had it. That's right. Yep. With New Jersey, yep, you can only guess. The Jersey Devil. Oh, yeah. The story of the Jersey Devil has been around since the 1700s. Weird New Jersey reported. The legend states that a woman named Mother Leeds became pregnant, the 13th child, and said, "Let this one be a devil," or the devil. Once the child was born, it grew hooves, wings, horns, and a tail. The monster has been spotted periodically through history in the Pine Barrens region of New Jersey. The state has embraced the legend so much that they named their hockey team after it. Well, the Jersey Devils. They did it. Moving way south and over a little bit to the west, New Mexico. La Mala Hora. Am I saying that right? La Mala Hora. Is it horror? That's not going good there. La Mala Hora, which translates to evil, the evil hour, isn't an entity that you don't want to run into on a dark road. Legend says that at first it appears as a ball of black energy, constantly moving and changing its size and shape. If you look at it, it will drive you insane and will slowly kill you. Well, at other times it appears as a scary-looking woman. Now that's what I'm talking about. Aren't they all? It's said that if you see her at the crossroads, you or someone in your family will die. Well, I know that's where I'm going. Hey, yeah, that one. Sorry. Oh, moving way back up to the northeast. New York. Cropsey. Now, this one I'm not familiar with. Cropsey. In the story of Cropsey has many alliterations. The lineup reported, but generally tells the story of a man who stalked a sleepaway camp, Psychiatric Facility Children's Hospital had a shook for a hand and killed children who were wandering alone at night. Every single person who wanted to camp in upstate New York has heard about Cropsey. Well, things took a more sinister turn when a documentary posited that Cropsey was actually real. A convicted child kidnapper named Audrey Rand reported the New York Times. Well, Jesus, dude. That's not okay. About it, I just don't understand. I'm glad I don't understand it. I don't want to. Moving over to the North Carolina. Man, who doesn't love North Carolina? The Beast of Bladdenboro. Well, in the 1950s, multiple dogs were found dead. Oh God, no. See,
What? What? Dogs found dead? That's the shit I'm talking about. That's not okay, Dad. That's not okay. I'm not. This is shit. I don't. Just okay. Go ahead.
Lincoln, it's okay. Lincoln, if you guys don't know, he's my dog. Not he's my dog, and not he just yeah. I think he's a little mad about this story. Yeah, I don't know. People believe that there was a vampiric beast in the woods, and they tried to hunt the animal. But today, the town of Bladenboro has embraced its history, and residents actually hold a beast fest every year. Beast fest. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Every year. Well, some people are convinced the beast was probably a particularly large bobcat. I'm not gonna. You know why that's. Lincoln, thank you. It's never been confirmed exactly what was stalking their town. Yeah, hopefully they got that one. All right, moving over to North Dakota, White Lady Lane. Not one I've heard of, man. The story of White Lady Lane is a tragic one, according to Only in Your State. The legend states that a young woman became pregnant out of wedlock. Well, wait a minute. And her religious parents forced her to marry the father. The baby ended up dying after their wedding. The girl, so upset about her baby and her forced marriage, hanged herself from a bridge in her wedding dress. There's that wedding dress thing again. Uh, Locals claim to still see her ghost hanging from the bridge. That's not something you want to see. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Moving over to Ohio. The Werewolf of Defiance. That's a cool name, man. I'm just saying. There's a cool band that I used to really dig called Defiance. I love that band. During the summer of 1972, the people of Defiance claimed that they were being terrorized by a werewolf. Per Mysterious Universe, the sightings always happen at night. The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's all we need to do is listen to me sing. Wait a minute. Yeah. Wow, wait. No, wait. Hang on. They was convinced it probably particularly. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So the legend states that a young woman became pregnant with religious parents forced her to marry the father. The baby ended up dying after their wedding. The girl, so upset about her baby and her forced marriage, hanged herself at the bridge wedding with her. Locals claim to see her ghost hanging from the bridge. Okay, I'm not. That's the one that I was on before. I apologize. I deeply apologize. Yeah, my fuck up there. The Werewolf of Defiance is where we were in Ohio. Yeah, I apologize. During the summer of 1972, the people of Defiance claimed they were being terrorized by a werewolf. Per Mysterious. Hey, I got excited about the freaks coming out at night. Sightings always happen at night, generally by the train tracks. A couple of women said it would try to get into their houses by rattling the doorknob. The animal was said to be huge, hairy, and dressed in rags. But after summer ended, the beast disappeared, never to be heard of again. But the story lingers. Now moving over to where I'm at, Oklahoma, the mysterious Shaman's Portal. I'm from Oklahoma. I've never heard about this. Lincoln, I know where we're going. The mysterious occurrences in Beaver Dunes Park have been attributed to the fact that it was built upon ancient Native American burial grounds, which is why it's called the Shaman's Portal, according to Only in Your State. It's also known as the Oklahoma Bermuda Triangle. Mysterious things have happened in the park, starting with the Spanish conquistadors who went missing while searching for gold in the 1500s. Since the paranormal activity seekers flocked to the dunes, some people claim that the UFO crashed there, and a group in the 90s who tested the soil said it was absolutely abnormal. Well, I'm gonna go check that out. I'm in Oklahoma, and that's the one. I've never heard of Mysterious Shaman's Portal, but Lincoln, that's where we're going, bub. Now going way up to Oregon. Man, I'm gonna run out of time. They cut me off 2 hours on Podbean. I hope everybody can still hear me on here. Bluetooth. Oregon, the Bandage Man of Cannon Beach. Oregon's a beautiful state. God, I love going to Oregon. The Bandage Man is the American version of a mummy, reported the Cannon Beach History Center and Museum. He is rumored to be the ghost of a logger who died in a sawmill accident and now terrorizes teenagers who hang out a deserted area of a highway near Cannon Beach. Stories say that he knocks on car windows to try and get in and smells really, really bad. Well, I don't think that's where I'm going to go. I'm just saying. Anyway. Now moving all the way across to the other state. I mean, kind of to the side of the country. Pennsylvania, the bus to nowhere. Ooh. Yeah. Well. In Philadelphia, there's rumored to be a bus that doesn't have an end destination, according to Only Your State. The story says that the bus only picks up passengers that are at their lowest moment, who need to get away from their problems. Man, they haven't picked me up yet. Once the passenger is ready to face the world, they can get off the bus. Wow, maybe I'm on that bus. Maybe that's what's wrong. But the passengers have no idea how long they've been on the bus for. It could have been hours, days, or even years. That's interesting because probably where I've been, on. Yeah. And I don't want to take another break. Rhode Island, the Devil's Footprints. Oh, this is not one I'm familiar with either. There's a rock on Devil's Footprint Road. Devil's Foot Road that appears to show a normal human footprint and a cloven hoof, according to a medium's blog about New England's folklore. The story goes that a Native American woman murdered a white man and fled the scene of the crime. While running, she was stopped by another man. She cried out to the devil to save her. The man admitted that he himself was the devil and stomped his feet on the ground to prove that he had a cloven hoof, which the rock still shows up to this day, according to the Y.M. Marking. Huh, that one's pretty cool. South Carolina, the death of Julia Lagara. In the 1800s, the Lagaras were a well-to-do South Carolinian family that had homes on the mainland and on Edisto Island. The daughter, Julia, got sick, was pronounced dead, and she was buried inside her family's mausoleum, according to Edisto's website. Years later, another member of the Lagara family died, and when their tomb was opened up, remains of Julia were found outside of her coffin. The story says that Julie had been in a coma and had woken up and tried to escape from tomb, but sadly died. After the first reopening of the Lagar mausoleum, the door can't seem to stay shut. The Lagars tried multiple different doors, and every single time the door was found open. People believe that the ghost of Julia didn't want to be locked in the tomb any longer. Well, that's, I wouldn't either, man. Like I said, I don't even think I'll be able to bury my dog in the ground. I don't want him to be laying there by themselves. I would want to be locked in a tomb either. South Dakota, Walking Sam and Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Purportedly over 7 feet tall and very slim, Walking Sam is said to appear on the streets of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation at night. And he tries to convince teenagers to take their own lives, Hot 104.7 reported. Whether or not Walking Sam is real, something tragic is going on in the reservation. From December 2014 to May 2015, there were 103 attempts by people to end their lives at Pine Ridge, reported the Daily Dot. Well, everybody, I'm going to run out of time here, but I'm going to have a part 2 to this, so don't miss it. I'm going to be taking a break and having to start a new podcast, so this will be a part 2. We'll be starting on Tennessee. The boy in the bathroom at Pine Haven School, everybody. I appreciate everybody for joining me. Look out for my part 2 on my Stories of Cryptids and Other Mysteries podcast. Podbean only gives me 2 hours, so I gotta end this. But I will see you guys here very shortly on part 2 of this, getting into the other states I haven't got to. Everybody, I want to thank you for joining me on this episode. I will talk to you all soon. Have a wonderful day. I will talk to you and see you very shortly.